produces. We will take some of this. We'll teach the kids how to do some cannings, to do some tomato sauces and that kind of thing. And then we will also hopefully be able to use some of this into the cafeteria. This garden here is certified now, so we can do that. We can take this produce and take it to the cafeteria and have the kids work with the cafeteria workers in processing it all.
And
And
just
to
so
get
people,
certified was through
just to clarify, Department of Ag, it's not certified organic.
Yeah,
We are using 100% organic methods, and I would like to get certified organic. But you're a California certified producer, which means that you're able to sell at farmers markets. The stuff that you're bringing came from your site and was inspected by the Department of Ag.
So from the Department of Ag, you can go directly
into the
It's actually run through the counties.
Yeah.
But
County. So that's beneficial for our kids. They actually come out here, learn how to take it from seed or start, and see it produced, pick it, take it into the kitchen, work with it, develop their own recipes if need be, see what it tastes like, and it's amazing what kids will love. I mean, our kids are currently raised in fast food, and you give them a little bit of fresh vegetable, they see how it's grown, and it generally changes their palate because they have an invested interest in it, and they can develop it into whatever they want. And so our kids are the kids that come through IHTA. They already have their palates have already changed, and they don't understand why the other kids on the campus don't like the same kinds of foods.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter of teaching, and that's one of the reasons why we started with the teachers first, because they're the role models for all of our students. And if we can get our role models to like the food and to take it upon themselves to bring this into their lifestyle, then they'll understand how difficult it is to have the kids change from going from fast food into more healthy, nutritious food.
And most of the school year, that's like purple mustard greens, like the Japanese Osaka mustard greens. Big favorite of mine because they're very, very, very productive by square foot. They grow the fastest and produce the most volume, and so you can constantly turn them over. And they're highly nutritious and lots of iron and calcium. And they have a nice kick, a nice little mild hot spice. And so they're awesome. But of course they've never eaten them before, and if you just chew on a leaf raw, it's a little fibrous, it's definitely chewy, it's a little bitter. But when you lightly steam it or saute it and so on, so they have to get used to eating a pile of greens at every meal, which they pretty much do really quickly.
Right.
And then all this other stuff that they would have thought was inedible suddenly they really like it. So
And hopefully we'll be able to show them enough that they can take this to their home, and they can start their own little, what I call a victory garden. They can have their tomatoes, they can have their peppers, and they can start doing these things for their families and showing their families how to bring this kind of produce into their lifestyle. And that can only do great things for people's health, and hopefully all of this will increase the students' ability to learn in the classroom. Their athletic ability will increase, their stamina will increase, and so we're hoping that we'll see a lot of changes once we get the kids going on good
it totally
healthy food.
dispels the idea that this is sort of elitist upper class food, because this meals that they're serving are $1.50 per student. Is that right?
It's actually $1.01.
Oh, got it down even
I think
lower.
it was
$1.01
$1
per student. And so I've been, poor for a long time. I was a farmer and all kinds of other things. And then being a teacher now, I think I'm pretty close to my class, almost. But I've been eating organic, mostly vegetarian food for 17 years, and I do not buy the idea that it's expensive. What's expensive if it's like organic TV dinners or like organic processed foods are expensive. But if you cook polenta, brown rice, bulgur, any of the basic grains, black beans, lentils, any of the basic legumes, that's nutritionally complete. Piles of greens, I mean, you don't have to buy organic, but you can buy a big bunch of greens for $1, basically. And the market, the default price is $1 a pound, which is really, really, really low. I mean, obviously, heirloom tomatoes might be $4 a pound because they crack and split and they're a problem to grow. But the point is, like, I really don't believe, and I think the kids will get the message after a while that it's not like healthy organic food is not just for people in Walnut Creek or something. Like, it's really rice and beans and fresh veggies
Right.
is what I eat all the time, and I'm, knock on wood, really healthy, and it tastes really good. When, garlic, ginger,
Yeah, it's satisfying.
go out on a limb and buy some coconut milk, some green curry, then you start to learn how to make your own Thai, Vietnamese food. It's like the basis of it, or Italian food. The basis of it is sauteed onions and garlic.
What's the price point that you have from the feds and everything for how much it costs per meal, or what your budget is in terms of per meal for the students?
For the students here
Yeah.
through the cafeteria,
Yeah.
I think it's $5.
Suzanne would be the person. to
Susan
ask.
would be at.
Not what you charge the kids, but I mean, what your
Yeah, it's
dollar cost is to deal with per meal.
I think it's $5. It's real close to $4 to $5 per student. And so if we have our garden here that's putting that good food in our students' mouths, then we're ahead of the game.
And you can do it at a cheaper price than what the feds tell you. This is what you have to buy: processed cheese
I mean,
for cheese zombies.
certain.
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't know. White
Really, when you
collar.
get into the amount of calories that students consume, then we need to take it to another level to growing dry beans, growing potatoes, growing field crops that produce a lot of calories. That's going to be the bulk of what's on the plate. Whereas this is pretty much the one corner of the plate, the greens and veggies that are mixed in with everything.
And I know there's.
But with a field across the street, we could actually talk about growing field crops that would be much more the bulk of the diet.
And I know there's new guidelines. Suzanne can
Right.
speak to that, but now they have to have it's the plate model is what they've shifted to.
Yes.
They've gone from having a certain calorie, like you have to have this many calories, you have to have this much calcium, vitamin A. They've scratched that and said, no, we're going to do a plate. You have to have a vegetable, you have to have a fruit, you have to have a green, you have to have certain proteins, and a milk, and a dairy.
The pyramid got turned upside down.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
I think buried.
And so that's what they're
pyramid.
working with now.
Yeah, I remember that.
We're in a
Remember
really
those?
good
Yeah.
position to be working with them. We are working with food service already to help them develop menus that reflect that the students will actually eat. But they have to offer the vegetable. They have to offer the fruit. So these things and the calorie limit is they have a top limit now, so it has to be between a range. So you can't just be like, okay, it has to be this much, but it can be like 2,000 calories per meal.
Right.
So
Oh yeah,
There's
that
a
calorie.
minimum and a
I remember
maximum.
seeing that when you handed out the sheet here at Come to the Table where we had the calorie count, and I went, "These are minimums? You've got to be kidding me!
Yeah.
2,000
it.
calories minimum for a meal, and it was all not
It's
very
750,
nutritious stuff.
yeah.
I could say other things, but Teresa's taping.
Oh man, when I came here,